the definition of Chaitanya is that it knows that it exists, but it is completely free from
Sorry.
any attachments of the mind, emotions, memories, body, etc. And what is the relationship of the knowingness with itself? When it experiences itself, what it feels? Tell me, Sarita. When the knowingness experiencing itself, it experiences itself, how it feels?
When the knowingness experiences
Itself.
its knowingness,
And how it feels?
there are no words to my experience. Just,
Can we say it feels free? It feels
yeah.
bliss, right?
Yeah. Even beyond, I would say.
Even beyond, yeah.
No words.
Yes.
So I had an experience recently, and I posted it in the WhatsApp group. I don't know if you heard my question there.
Mm-hmm.
And it was, I would say, as per my understanding,
Mm-hmm.
um, the experience of, well, I don't want to name it anything, but I kind of, I would say maybe a realization of Shunya
Mm-hmm.
and how to be there in an instant. And this is all based on your teachings, of course. I wouldn't have managed without. But I was doing, or I was not doing. I was listening to the eighth lecture of the, is it Malini Vijaya that we're doing now? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So the eighth lecture of this one, which is, I would say, oh, oh, I have no words. Uh, it was a door opener, definitely. And during this, I was starting to investigate uh, um, the how to say the origin of the vibration of any thoughts.
Mm.
So I don't know if you know what I mean, and but then I realized during this vipassana, I would say, inquiry, that for a thought to even arise as after the vibration, after the, I would say maybe starting point, I feel it as a vibration. I
Yes.
can't explain it in any other way,
Yes. Yes.
but that before it forms,
Hmm.
it needs attachment and ego.
Yes.
It's not possible without.
Absolutely right.
So there was kind of a play, like I could decide whether to. It was very in. I can't explain the experience, but it was very interesting to be a witness of and experience directly.
Yeah.
This play of the vibration of the starting of the point, and there was kind of a choice
Yes.
there whether or not to follow it. And then well, like I said, I realized that if it will take a form, I need to be somebody.
Hmm. Yes.
Uh,
Yes.
and
Very
and
good.
then I decided not to. uh, and this is, as per my understanding, what the Buddhists talks about when they say shunya.
Yeah.
And I'm very curious to hear your perspective on this.
Yeah. Right. So, absolutely right. And In fact, we had this line of inquiry earlier many times. So in Tantra, we call it simply Vaikhari, Madhyama, Pashyanti, and Para. Right now, what we are experiencing when we are beyond thoughts, beyond mind, is Para. But Pashyanti is that witness which you were talking about, that witnesses the origin of the thought. It's the urge. I always say Pashyanti is the urge. And it's up to us whether to follow that urge or not follow that urge. When you follow that urge, you rightly said, you have to take form. So, there is a beautiful sentence in Pratibhigya Hridayam. Chittirev Chaitanya Pad Avrudha Chaitya Sankochini Chittam. This sentence describes this process that we are talking about. That this Chitti Eva alone, Chitti He, comes down from its state of Chaitanya. Earlier it was Chaitanya. Chaitanya, Sarita's Chaitanya, Sharad's Chaitanya, Advaita's Chaitanya, Shivpriya's Chaitanya, Kapil's Chaitanya, Praveen's Chaitanya is all one. It is just that space. It's just that space is a word, so don't take it for literal space. So at para level, it's all same. It's all one. Then at Pashyanti level, because of the contraction, Chitti Deva Chaitanya Pad Avarudha, it comes down from its Chaitanya state and then Chaitya Sankochini Chittam. It divides into two. Who divides? Chaitanya divides into two. Object, subject. So in this case, the vibration itself is the subject. So the subject arises, let's say, as vibration. It's object. Vibration is the object. So the object arises. Now, this object is not something that came from outside. This object is made up of you only. You divide into vibration and knower of the vibration. And then you further divide from 2 to 3, knower, known, and knowledge, 3 to 4, 4 to 36. You keep on dividing until you create this reality. Right? So at the beginning, that's the opportunity where when the vibration arises, it means already you are becoming two.
Mm-hmm. So, but okay. So there is still one one to go.
Yes.
Or I don't know if is it possible to perceive that one, the last one?
Yes, it is possible not to perceive it, but to know it. Like you answered it in the beginning. that knowingness, are you aware of knowingness, or are you are the knowingness? Like you said, that vibration, you said that vibration, I can see the vibration, which means you are saying that I can say vibration is mine,
Mm.
not me, right? That's the experience in the beginning, that vibration is mine, but not me. But there is something that you cannot say it is mine, which is knowingness. You cannot say knowingness is mine.
Mm.
Because what is left then? If you say knowingness is mine, then who are you?
Yeah.
Okay, can I ask a question?
Yes, yes.
So it may be, Namaskar. It
Namaskar.
may be that my inquiry is not deep enough, but when I feel that, I don't feel two. I feel that, well, there may be two, but it's so close that there's no movement. It's like,
Hmm.
I don't know if that's wrong, or I mean, I don't know if that it's not wrong, but that
Yeah.
maybe I need to sit on it
Yeah.
more. But I don't.
So two things. Don't don't further break it into multiple other concepts or multiple others entities, if I would say. So, for example, when we try to define something, naturally we have to borrow something from outside. We have to borrow the concepts which are available in our current reality. So when we borrow those concepts, that's where the problem happens, because these concepts can never correlate with the reality.
But in my experience, it's that it's almost like I'm sitting in the knowingness. And if I
Yeah.
move out of it, then I move out of the knowing. It's like I become two.
Yeah.
But like you, it's so still. You can't move in that place. Although there's a knowingness, but there
Yes.
is a movement.
Yes. So I have one question. Do you sit in knowingness, or do you stay as knowingness?
No, it's you stay as knowingness.
Right. So you stay as knowingness, and then you don't stay as knowingness after that.
No.
Right? Now, when you stay as knowingness, what pushes you out? In fact, that's what is the discussion between Lekha and Chud. So after all this, what Chud does, he goes into knowingness and he realizes, he closes his eyes, he looks at the darkness in front of him, and he's like completely free of his mind. He becomes thoughtless for a moment, and he says, ah, wow, what a beautiful experience, experience of freedom. And then he closes his eyes and he starts moving like this. So he's enjoying himself. Who came Chud? He's enjoying himself in the space. And then Lekha tries to talk to him. He says, dear husband. And he says, wait, wait, wait. Let me enjoy it. And then she says, but I want to tell you something.
To tell you something.
And then
And then
he opens his
he
eyes
opens.
and then he says, in still blissed state, he looks at her and he says, why you want me to get out of this? Let me close the eyes and let me enjoy this. This I have never enjoyed in my life. This is the freedom. And I am so surprised that people spend so much time finding and building things where they can just find freedom within themselves, which gives you ultimate freedom, ultimate bliss. And let me enjoy this. And then she says, no, stop. So she is a true teacher and she doesn't want him to, you know, she doesn't want him to go somewhere else with this. So then she says, whatever you are experiencing, this is not the reality. And she asks a question that you are saying, I don't want to open my eyes. So tell me what you have found by closing your eyes, unmile nayan, what you have found. With closed eyes, what you have found, and with opened eyes, what you are going to do. If there is something that you have found after closing the eyes, that's not it. And this it is, if it is something that you will lose after opening the eyes, then it's not that. So don't stop here. That's what she's telling him. That if you think that this is it, and I'm enjoying this freedom, and if I open my eyes, it is gone, then it's not the real freedom. It's not the real self. You are around that only. You are somewhere close to the heart, but you are not it. So again, that the choice of words that we are using here, when you are saying I'm sitting in knowingness. No.
No, yeah, you're right. It's not sitting in
Yeah.
because you can't move in it. The reason I was saying is because it was like there isn't two, so it's like I'm in it, but I am it actually. It's me.
So when you are it, then it doesn't matter if you open your eyes, you are still it. If you close your eyes, you are still it. In fact, opening and closing eyes does not make any difference to the beingness. It makes the difference to the doer, the knower, or whosoever the individuality which we were discussing with Sarita. Once you cascade, once you step down. So when you are on your, seat of Chaitanya, which is again, that's the word, the limitation of these words, sitting on Chaitanya, sitting in Chaitanya, etc., right? When you are being it. Yeah. So the key criteria to remember is it is not personal. It is not individual. It does not belong to me or you. That's the key criteria. It should not feel something personal. I mean, personal in the sense that we possess things, no, like she's teaching him, my phone, my clothes, my body, my hair, my this, my that. You cannot say it is my Chaitanya. You cannot say. If you say this is my Chaitanya, it's not it. It cannot be yours. How can a small river claim it is my ocean? The only time it can say it is my ocean when it has vanished, isn't it? The only time river can claim it is my ocean when river is not there. When river is there, it's not river's ocean. But when the river merges in the ocean, then it can say my ocean. But when it says my ocean, it is making a mistake because it already has become ocean. This is the same experience. Until we say my Chaitanya, my awareness, my nothingness, my Shunya, my meditation, my bliss, my peace, there is a problem. But when you leave everything that is mine, then what remains is not mine. It cannot be described with any words. That's why Lao Tse says the Tao you can talk about is not the real Tao. That's why Shri Krishna says in Gita that Chaitanya that can be explained, the Brahma that can be explained by the knowers of Veda or Vidu, the word he uses is Vidu. Vidu means the knowledgeable people. So the Brahma, which is explained by the knowledgeable people, is not the real Brahma. That's what Shiva says, Jnanam Bandha. Knowledge is the bondage. Because for knowledge, you need to divide yourself into the subject, the object, and the knowledge itself. Knower, known, knowledge. You have three divisions of yourself. So, when you are the known individual awareness, so that's what Hemlekha is also pointing to, that don't get attached to any experience. Because he mentions about experiences. And she says, no, don't get carried away by any experience. All these things we say, Kundalini Jagran and, the rays coming out of our spine, all the lights that we see, great, no problem with that. But don't make them as the reality. Don't wait for them to happen all the time. Because these experiences happen due to our inability to comprehend the real Chaitanya, because we cannot take it all at once. Hence, it has to bring itself in form of some experience, like it will show itself as light. Not because it is light, not because this is how it is. It is because our inability to comprehend it. So it shows itself as some experience, which is not bad, but don't stick to any experience. Usually experiences happen to those who suddenly, due to grace, suddenly get moment of realization. So when you suddenly get that moment of realization, due to anything, it can be due to bhakti, it can be due to yoga, it can be due to meditation, it can be due to anything, or simply desire, burning desire. In that case, because you are unable to comprehend, it shows itself as a light, like it showed itself to Kabir. So Kabir suddenly, because Kabir was crying, Kabir was just thirsty. He had no direction to go and he was crying about it. And then he experiences this in form of light. लाली मेरे लाल की जिद देखूं तित लाल. And that exactly was my personal experience as well. I was able to relate it much later to what Kabir said. Because there was no step-by-step progression. There was no one who was step-by-step taking to that place. It was a sudden realization because of the momentum that was created due to thoughtlessness, long period of thoughtlessness. And this urge to merge, if you can call it. But in so many different experiences, it is experienced in different way, like sometimes slow, step-by-step peace. Sometimes it's like peeling the onion. You peel the layers of the onion until in the end, just space. All the layers are peeled now. Nothing remains. Just what remains is peace. And you don't even realize you have arrived because there was no sudden experience of light or thunder or anything like that. It's just you arrived and you just find space, nothing else. So it can happen in any way. Usually when it happens step by step, it is more reconcilable. You can reconcile it better. When it happens suddenly, to many people it happens, like I said. In that case, you are just left speechless, and it takes some time for you to comprehend what has happened. So leave everything that is mine, and then what you are left is you.
Excuse me, Guruji.
Yes.
Namaskar. So
Namaskar.
as you said, the knower, knowing, and known. So at this stage, we realize that whatever we have done it or whatever we have known it, it is useless.
Yes.
So it is dump it.
Yes.
And or burn it.
Yes.
So it is useless. It is nothing is related to me.
Yes.
And known, whatever I knew or whatever it has been known, so known is also at the further stage, it is not required.
Yes. It is not required.
So, yeah. So now who is remaining? Knower. But knower now, as we have peeled the onion and the last peel, it is just nothing. So who is the knower now? So it is all this, whatever it is, we see it with the open eyes, that is also not reality. And with the closed eyes as well, in the depth meditation, if we reach to the Nirvikalpa Samadhi, so what do you say about the Nirvikalpa Samadhi now? Now, ultimately, the Vedantic philosopher will reach to the some highest peak point, as if on the peak of the mountain he is there on the top, and surrounding to that area nothing is there. It is a vast absolute reality. Now he has to be that in Nirvikalpa Samadhi, what could be the existence of this knower now? Can you explain it? Thank you.
So Nirvikalpa Samadhi is actually a stable state of thoughtlessness. When the thoughtlessness becomes stable, because what is Vikalpa? Vikalpa is a thought. So when a thought arises, that is Vikalpa arising. Because all our troubles, they begin with the thought. The world begins with the thought. First the thought arises and then everything else arises.
Gurudev, can I just, first of all, hello, I'm seeing you after such a long time. You are not able to see me because it's all dark. I'm having COVID actually, so just taking rest.
Okay.
Yeah, but now almost recovered, but slightly here and there. So, Gurudev, when Sarita started, I did had a question. And then when you started with Hemlekha and Vimraj, I think so it got answered. Now, but again, when Deepak ji had asked, so maybe something similar like what you said, like, so when you go, I'll talk about myself, when I go into the meditation, so there is gaps of Nirvikalpa Samadhi, like where a thought doesn't arises and you're just absorbed or you're just soaked in that bliss of nothingness, if we can give that word to it. But sometimes then as then Sarita added, there is a urge, there is a vibration, and then Pashyanti comes over. But I realize there is no control, it just happens. And that time I really say, what can I do just to remain, as you said, Nirvikalpa? But somehow I feel I have no choice and it's just there. But it's just there, but then I just allow it because I feel if this is the play, I just, without interfering my mind, I just allow. And if I can be in that space, so I feel nothing really harms, shakes. It's just a flow, just allowing it to flow. So now I don't know whether that is a Nirvikalpa Samadhi or.
Right.
But somehow there is not much attraction towards whatsoever is happening. It's happening, it's happening, it's happening. I mean, there's no much weightage given to whatsoever is happening.
Right. So,
Thank you, Gurudev.
so get well soon.
Thank you. Surely.
Yeah.
After this day, I have to.
Yes, you'll be fine. Right. So you were asking about the choice, and sometimes it becomes almost that I don't have a choice and I kind of flow with the world.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So what you should do, you should stop even trying to resist it. Because when you resist, like if you are trying to resist of not flowing, that resistance will give more power to that flow. So when you try to, okay, I will not think. What happens? You start thinking. Because everything starts with thinking. And then thinking, thoughts, they bring emotions, they bring actions, everything is followed by that. So when you accept it, let it be their approach. For example, and that's the easiest approach. There is a child, you see, and the child is very naughty. And you have known this child since ages. You have known this child since your childhood. And this is still a child. Who is that child? Your mind. So, for example, if there is a child who is jumping around and you know that it's a naughty child, usually what we do, we don't intervene. We just look at the child from the distance and we let it. Because what is the point of wasting our energy? What is the point of wasting our time and this bliss that I'm experiencing to stop this child? I mean, the cost is very high. So if you do cost benefit analysis, the cost is high and no benefit. That's why I always say, don't try to change your mind. Mind cannot be changed. Mind cannot be also controlled. Mind can be eliminated. Mind can diminish. That can happen. But it happens when you don't try it, when you accept it. Mind hates acceptance. Because acceptance means no drama, no action. Isn't it? See, someone who is accepting or someone who is wise, you will find that they have less drama in their life because they accept. When we don't accept, then drama increases. And that's what the mind loves. The mind does not accept. So, when it happens, when the thought arises, you accept it and be at peace with it. Don't give it any name, any form. It's just, okay, like any other perception, there is a thought which came and went. And slowly also start looking at the thoughts with same dispassion. Usually what happens, some thoughts we are very passionate about. And there are some thoughts which we don't like. So some thoughts we like, we are passionate about these thoughts. Some thoughts we don't like, we are dispassionate. So we differentiate between thoughts also. Good, bad, helpful, not helpful, etc. So becoming dispassionate about thoughts means you just see them as one entity that wants action, that wants some drama. So you allow it rather than trying to stop it. Don't try to stop it, just allow it. So you be the witness and you just allow this to flow, and it will flow, it will go out. The only way a thought gets power is when you have non-acceptance. When you give it attention, when you try to act on it or change something. So don't try to change or act on it, it will disappear. Okay?
Perfect. Thank you, Gurudev. It was quite useful. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I realize that we often do that. Despite of having this information that we don't have to resist, but we still resist. I
Yeah.
think so. It's a very old habit ingrained. Yeah.
Yeah. And then
It's
like I said, then we also tag our thoughts.
exactly.
Like, for example, if let's say I'm sitting in a park, uh, and a child is playing, I'm like, okay, I mean, the child is playing, I'm sitting in park, doesn't bother me. But if I'm meditating and the child come close to me and then start disturbing me, then I'll be like, what should I, do now? And then you start shouting, can't you see I'm meditating? So, which means that we have now tagged the thought, I am a meditator. It's a good thought. And I'm just sitting somewhere is not so significant thought. So where you are significant, you become more passionate about those thoughts. And something that is not so significant, you are not passionate about. So that's also something we should realize, that sometimes we become attached to certain thoughts. Those are the thoughts which are hard to leave. Right? So like people become more angry and most angry when they are disturbed from their meditation. So it's like we are doing a favor to the universe. We are doing a favor to the world. You see, I'm meditating. Such a big favor to the world, to the family and everyone. Right? And when someone disturbs that, then you become angry. Then the third eye opens.
Mm.
Gurudev, Deepakji was talking about the Nirvikalpa stage.
Yes.
That is not ultimate, because is it? Because actually, as you just said, you should allow the thoughts to happen, and you're watching them. You can watch the thought happening, and you're still Chaitanya.
Yeah.
Watching the thought.
Yeah. So that's why there are let's look at three samadhis. In fact, there are 5 levels of samadhis, but today we will talk about 3. One samadhi is when we go into deep sleep. When we go into deep sleep, that is a samadhi because your mind, when you are in sushupta avastha, your mind is inactive. You are not thinking of anything. When you start thinking, you are out of sushupta, you have gone to swapna. Before swapna, you are in sushupta avastha. There you don't think, but still there is karmamal. There is still impurity. There is still mayaimal. There is maya. So now you go to the second samadhi stage, which is, let's say, there is Savikalp Samadhi also, but then we will talk about Nirvikalp. Nirvikalp is when there are no thoughts, no vikalpas, and you are in Samadhi. So here is slight difference between the approach of Tantra and the approach of Vedanta. Slight difference. Ultimately, it's the same thing. So, Nirvikalpa means you are established, and it's essential, it is mandatory to stay in Nirvikalpa for some time. In Nirvikalpa Samadhi, you are simply sitting in that awareness or knowingness, or you are the knowingness. That's how you become Nirvikalpa. You are all your thoughts, they now settle down, and they all are now part of the ocean, the Chaitanya. But the problem with Nirvikalpa Samadhi is that you can't act in the world with Nirvikalpa Samadhi. If you are in Nirvikalpa Samadhi, most probably you have to sit, or even if you are walking, there are precautions that we have to take. Like, can I drive in Nirvikalpa Samadhi? No. I cannot drive in Nirvikalpa Samadhi. Because then the letters would not form any meaning. Because if I say go right, if I'm in Nirvikalpa Samadhi, go right is not recognized. You understand? You read the letters G-O-R-I-G-H-T, but it doesn't create anything. It doesn't create even a response in you because you are in Nirvikalpa Samadhi. So you cannot go right. That's why you cannot drive. Similarly, we cannot go about all other things in the world when we are in Nirvikalpa Samadhi. But when you stay in Nirvikalpa Samadhi for long, then you become eligible for Jagadananda Samadhi, which is a typical signature of Tantra. So Jagadananda Samadhi is when you can be in the world, you can act in the world, but you are still enjoying the Nirvikalpa state. Like I said, it happens with proper abhyas. It does not happen without practice. So if you are continuously in Nirvikalpa Samadhi, and then from that state you start speaking, you can speak from that state. You can see and still be in Nirvikalpa. You can then read and quickly. So when you read, you will go out of Nirvikalpa. You see, like I read, for example, right now I'm sitting and I read something. Let's say I want to read a name. So right now I'm reading Dipkpak. So what is happening? I have to leave Nirvikalpa. And then comes a thought, okay, what do you mean by Dipak? And then there are memories that will come along. All this will come, so it no longer is a Nirvikalp state. But Jagadananda says that while you are in Nirvikalpa, you can still act by continuously going back to Nirvikalpa while you are interacting with the world. Right? So usually how people go to Nirvikalpa Samadhi, they will start with Savikalp, they will start with controlling the breathing slowly, like Vipassana, for example, or any other practices that take us into that nothingness. Right? So slowly we reach there. But Jagadananda says you now play with Nirvikalpa Samadhi. Now you, if needed, you can take action. You go and take action, but that action does not change you. That action does not take you back to the Jagrat Avastha. So you can enjoy the fourth, Turiya, even when you are Jagrat. So Jagrat Turiya. You can have Turiya and deep sleep. You can have Turiya. You can't have Turiya and Swapna together. Yes. So you can have this while interacting with the world. That is Jagadananda. So, but Jagadananda is not practical until you are stable in Nirvikalpa. So first we get stable in Nirvikalpa, and then Jagadananda with practice becomes a reality. So Jagadananda, in fact, is more about Leela. When you act in Jagadananda, your action is Leela. So like Shri Krishna, he does not regularly meditate, but he's meditating while performing all his duties. That's why we call him the perfect being. He has so many imperfections from the worldly perspective, but he's perfect. He's perfect because he never leaves his samadhi.
So, just out of curiosity, and not that it really matters, but how to say, just to understand it theoretically. So, Nirvikalpa Samadhi, would you say that it is at the point where you observe the starting point of the thought that has not yet manifested as a thought, but there is like this vibration only?
Yeah, so you don't observe even the vibration. You are just in the self.
That is Nirvikalpa Samadhi.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
When you start observing, then it becomes Savikalpa.
And Savikalpa was before the Nirvikalpa?
Yes. Savikalpa means with an a. So Vikalpa in Sanskrit is a deep word, but in English, that the English translation of Vikalpa is option. So option means thought. Like you are free of thoughts and then an option arises. Option is a thought.
Mm-hmm.
So Nirvikalpa is optionless. Savikalpa is with the option. That's why sa means with. Vikalpa means with Vikalpa.
Okay.
Vikalpa is a thought because everything starts with the thought.
So when there's not even a vibration,
Yeah.
That I don't know yet. I will not even ask. Let's see when I get there.
That is there.
I want to share something, if it's okay.
Yeah, please.
Or actually, yeah, it's just relevant maybe to you as my teacher or the teacher. I don't know. But it's been some interesting past 2 years, as you know, with regards to the house and all the money I lost, the baby I lost, the life I almost lost. And I saw it initially as a curse, but it has come to be possibly the greatest blessing on this on this path. So and it's quite interesting to see that what we think is the worst thing that can happen to us at that point actually shows to be, well, a blessing in disguise, like truly. And maybe it sounds romantic of me or not true, but I have to say, like, this truly has helped me to invoke a deep sense of vairagya. Like, I really have this it's interesting because just today I received a phone call from the insurance company that I have basically won the case and are now able to construct a new house. But I don't care. Like, it's okay. Like, it's nice, but I will lose it again, so it doesn't matter. Like,
Good. That's good.
it's and I'm just stunned to observe this reaction in me. Like, I should be like, of course, I'm relieved because a part of this quite tiresome journey is over. But then I know, like, just a new one will start, and like there's a never-ending suffering in this world, I would say, or in this, how to say, samsaric world of how to say, grasping. And so I just see it and it's like, okay, well, nice, but yeah, just I wouldn't say it's a pessimistic attitude even. It's just like, yeah, I don't care.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's good to be there.
It's a very good realization that you know that even if something good happens, then behind that is maybe it's another suffering. So there are two stages for sadhak. One is that when a sadhak gets one suffering and they think, oh wow, this suffering was so big and how I can take it, until they get another suffering which is even the bigger one, right? So then you forget about the previous one. Previous one was nothing, it was fun. This is the real suffering, this is the real challenge, and then you get a bigger one. But when the nature has exhausted all its suffering, right? It happens in some cases when, very close to Sarita's case, when it exhausts all the suffering, right? Then you see something different. Then you now completely you are in vairagya, and now the suffering doesn't touch you. It doesn't affect you. It can't touch you. And usually the best way to realize it is by always keeping in mind the end goal of the life. I'm talking about the physical life. The end result, end goal is to die. So the ultimate suffering that we can have is that we disappear from the body. This body is left, somebody will bury it, somebody will burn it. It is going to happen for sure. There is 100% guarantee of this. There's no other guarantee in the world, but this is guaranteed that this is going to happen. Once we accept that suffering, which is the highest suffering, that this will disappear. Or like in your case, the bigger sufferings that we get, then the suffering loses its ability to haunt us and its ability to touch us. Somewhere it also relieves us from a lot of emotional and psychological, movement or activities that happen in our life. Like we're trying to play the games, no? Game of security, game of this and that. So we kind of get rid of those things when we actually have suffering.
Yeah. I have to be honest as well and say, like, I'm not, I wouldn't say I'm completely free of it, but mostly, yeah. I've touched into something that seems to be the way, and my end choice after some inner movements. But yeah, it's a good place to be. So thank you. Like from, yeah, Anand comes here. Thank you for all the support, and I wouldn't have been able without you and your guidance. So yeah, thank you.
Gurudev Pranam.
I one more question, like not even it's a question, but more to the group if possible. So then after that, I will turn my microphone off because I've used a lot of time. If it's okay.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay.
Thank you. So I recently received a job offer, which I have accepted as a manager in a kindergarten. This will unfortunately mean that Thursday class, it's first in October, so it's no rush, but I'm just airing the suggestion. So let's see where it lands. So Thursdays at this hour is a little difficult, and possible to change for earlier hours or even another day, I would be very grateful. And if not, I will have the recordings.
Okay. We'll definitely think about it and see what is the best solution we can find.
If we survive till October, yeah. But thank
Survive
you.
till October?
Who knows?
Yeah. Mm.
Yeah, okay. My love to you and pranam again. Thank you.
Gurudev, my question is that why did you call death as a suffering?
Yeah. That's a good question. No need to call it as a suffering.
I think death definitely is not a suffering. It's an end of life, and I think suffering is absolutely a different ballgame.
Yeah. Yeah.
Unless there is a reason.
Yeah. So yes. So why I call it suffering is because ultimately all the fears that we have in our life, because there is one thing which is going somewhere, that is in Hindi we call it suffer, journey, and then there is suffering. So suffering means that you are not happy with your suffer, isn't it? Suffering means you are not happy with your journey, isn't it? So
Death is the end of suffering.
yeah. So if we think about it, like when we are not happy with our journey, it's the non-acceptance usually. That we are not accepting what is. We are not accepting the reality of the perceptions that we are having right now. Because of non-acceptance, we feel suffering. Now the question is, why non-acceptance? Non-acceptance comes because we are fearful of something. There is a fear. A fear could be like of anything, like things will not go as I planned. A fear of my plans failing. A fear of not achieving what I want to achieve. A fear of any kind. So these fears bring non-acceptance, and non-acceptance brings suffering. Now, ultimate fear that one can have is that we are going to die. What else is the bigger fear? So ultimate fear is that I will die. After that, there is no fear. That's the biggest fear. In fact, every fear is a small death only. So because of the fears, we experience suffering. And the biggest fear is death. That's why one who accepts the death, that okay, death is going to happen, then all the fears, they become small, and all the suffering becomes small. But I understand your point. Like some people would say, like, and that's the difference between spirituality and being being a negative person about life. There is a term for that. I don't remember what they call it. But people who have these suicidal tendencies, for example, right? So they want to die because they can't take it. And they find it easy to die than to live. Living is more difficult. But for a spiritual person, that's not the case. For a spiritual person, death is not just end of suffering. For a spiritual person, death is a point, an important point in your journey of the body. So it's a point, it's a milestone for the body, maybe for the mind also, but not for me. It doesn't matter I take this body or I take multiple bodies. It doesn't matter. And this, in Indian culture, this is deeply rooted, right? We all know that we are going to be born again. Until we have desires, until we have unfulfilled vikalpas, we are going to be born again and again. Until we find this place which we are talking about, which is called freedom, which should be the ultimate goal of every human being, spiritual being. The ultimate goal is to become free of this. So yes, that's why I said, because sometimes death is taken as a very, a relief. So there's death is no relief. Somebody who lived with misery, somebody who lived with unconscious mind, for them death is the continuous journey. They are
But
going
for
to...
I think for spirituality, there is no place for fear. I think Vivekananda said that you cannot be spiritual if you have fear.
Absolutely.
That is, and I believe 100%. I endorse that.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%, yes. And then when there is no fear, then there is no suffering also.
And
And you see it as a play.
I have another question, Gurudev. In Nirvikalpa Samadhi, the body consciousness goes away. Is it
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So you would not know where the body is.
Yeah.
As long as you are in Nirvikalpa. Okay. Thank you, sir.
Even the mind goes away and body and
Yeah.
mind
Both go away. Okay. Thank you.
Pranam, Gurudev.
now.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, please go ahead.
Pranam. So similar to what Sarita ji and Vinod ji was talking about, Nirvikalpa Samadhi. So is it necessary for a sadhaka to go through Nirvikalpa Samadhi at least once in order to be free? Because my question is related to Vedanta, especially Jnana, Advait Vedanta, where they say that scriptures say that once the I thought, the individual, has been clearly seen as not being there, it's not even there, the individuality. Once you know that is just an appearance and it actually does not exist, then you're free, even once. Versus Tantra or yoga or any other spiritual, even Buddhism, you need to go through Nirvikalpa Samadhi and establish yourself. Then that individuality is kind of permanently seen to be dissipated.
Yeah. So, is it essential? I would say yes. But sometimes we can't really understand if a person is in Nirvikalpa Samadhi. It becomes so individual. So I went to Kumbh, and I was looking for people who are having some experiences, and there were all kind of funny people available there. So all kind of fun was there. Ultimately, I reached to a place where there was one guy who is so weak, he's almost about to die, and no fat on the body, and it's very weak. And then he's wearing a weird hat, rest he's not wearing any clothes. And then someone is like, trying to, you know, serve him, and he's just lying there like this. And he looks at me for some time. I look at him for some time. It was a Dattatreya, this is called something, there's some akhada, which is from Dattatreya's descendants. So Udasin, something like that, it was there. I don't remember now. So it is the akhada of Dattatreya, Lord Dattatreya. And this guy was just like this, and he's looking around, and he's not meditating, he's just lying down like this. So if you look at this person, someone may feel that he's interacting with the world, or he is experiencing his surrounding. But in fact, he was in Nirvikalpa Samadhi. Because when he looked at me, there was no impression in him. You see? When I looked at him, there was no impression in me. Usually what happens, when you meet people, there are impressions, right? You can see in their eyes. So when you look into somebody's eyes, you can see that there is an impression the other person is having of you. They like you, they dislike you, they want to be with you, they want to talk to you, there is some urge. There is something you can sense in the eyes, that there is something, So it's like not just like a business. With the normal humans, we have business. Right. So imagine if a person looks at you in your eyes like this, you'll be scared, because in the normal world, there has to be a business, right? And then we try to understand immediately, okay, so he wants this, she wants this, and I should give him the way, or I should step aside, or I should pay money, I should take the stuff. So that's business. Whereas when somebody looks into your eyes without impressions, so that you can feel. And from both sides, there is no impression. So the only thing that remains is a smile, nothing else. Right? So this person is in Nirvikalpa Samadhi. His eyes are open, and he's interacting with the world also, but not in the way. So for example, if you go and talk to him, he will not be able to answer you, because he's lost in his own world. He's lost in Chaitanya. So he will be able to, he will only be able to respond to someone who has similar wavelength. If anyone else goes, he will say he's mad. Because he's not going to give you that interaction. He's not going to respond to you the way a normal human will respond. Like if you go close to him, he will not say, okay, come sit down, have water. No. He will look at you like, like he's seeing through you. Like he's seeing not you, but something else. And he's seeing through you. So that is Nirvikalpa Samadhi, but will not be seen as Nirvikalpa Samadhi. That's why, these concepts, they sometimes become a hurdle in our recognition. Like someone like Raman Maharshi. Raman Maharshi is just sitting there. His eyes are open. He's looking. He's in Nirvikalpa Samadhi. Okay. So Nirvikalpa.
But is it?
Yeah. You are asking, is it
a requirement
to stay in that? Is it required?
No, even like once, just, and then come out of it. But to be able to go back to it.
Yeah, yeah. So when you become smooth, no, in coming out and going back, that's where the tantra's concepts, that we discussed, Sadashiv stage, for example, Ishvara stage, and all these stages, they are definitions of your abilities to stay there, right? For example, in Shuddha Vidya, you get the recognition, but you can't stay there. You can't hold it to that. When you go to the world, you become suffer, and then you come back and you become peaceful. But then in Ishvara, the world, idam aham. This is me. This realization begins. This is me. And then in Sadashiva, I'm this. So all of this is me only. It's rising from me, it's falling back in me. Now, if you meet with a person who is in Sadashiv stage or Ishwar stage, their reaction would be very different than someone who is in Shuddha Vidya. Right? So you asked, is it a mandatory or is it important to stay? Yes.
I have a funny experience, a little bit off the track. So
Yeah.
I had a very challenging 1 month of personal and work-wise, both extremely challenging, if you call it challenging. But I saw myself responding or not responding as an afterthought when, like, it would occur, and I would be aware that I was behaving or responding exactly like you. So I found it so funny and interesting that, oh, this is how Gurudev would probably handle the situation or respond to this, or sometimes not answer at all, like just let it pass and choose just to just stay. So the whole thing just is, of course, is a dream, but it was very beautiful and funny that once you spend enough time observing, you kind of take on their personality too, or no personality. So thank you so much. Thank you.
So Anand, how are you? Have you gone to Kashmir or you are still in Delhi?
Namaskar, Gurudev.
Namaskar.
Gurudev, people don't want to let me
Ah.
go.
Okay. Okay.
They have freed me from all the duties,
Uh-huh.
and they are just saying that please make tea.
That's a good job. Uh, Great.
Gurudev, no question. Everything is okay.
Wonderful. So we will continue with our discussion on Tripura in the next class. So here, evam paro par upasanena Vyatyu kepi masaka tripura parameshani prasadam kharodhridi vishyadi dvimukham chittam vichar paramam babho. His mind, turned away from objects of senses, becomes solely occupied with investigation. Etavad durlabham loke paranugrahamantara vichar pravanam chittam yan mukhyam moksh karanam. So much is difficult to be attained in this world without the grace of Tripura, since a mind devoted to investigation is the only means to liberation, the principal means to liberation, not the only. Ram yavan jayet vichar paramam manaha. So the Tatra is explaining him this, and in the end, the story, like I talked about, the end of this chapter, the story stops at the place where he is experiencing, Hemchuda is experiencing this spaciousness. Hemchuda is experiencing the bliss in himself, freedom in himself. And he says that, oh my God, you have to let me be here. To which Hemlekha replies, don't stop here. Don't stop here. This is not your home. These are just experiences that will come and go. So don't fall for any experiences. Now, what she tells next, that we are going to discuss in the next class, where we will discuss how she further guides Hemchud, which is, I think, important for all of us, because sometimes you have some experiences and then you start thinking, I want it back, or this is the ultimate experience. I want to stay here. So let's see what Hem Lekha says. We'll discuss that in the next class. That would be appropriate. So thank you for joining, everyone. Again, happy Guru Purnima to all of you. May your days and your nights are filled with bliss. And may you all get this ability to stay as Chaitanya, where knower, known, and the knowledge, they all merge. Just bliss remains, just peace remains. Om Namah Shivaya.